Hello students. So far we have discussed about the classification of multiprocessor, tightly coupled architecture, loosely coupled architecture, and different components and architectures of tightly coupled and loosely coupled architectures. Today we are going to discuss about interconnection networks, types of interconnection network. The principal characteristics of multiprocessor system is the ability of each processor to share a set of main memory modules and possibly I/O devices. This sharing capability is provided through set of two interconnection network. First in between the processor and memory modules, the other between the processors and I/O subsystems. There are two types of interconnection networks. First is time shared or common buzzer. Second is multi-port memories, crossbar switch and multi-port memories. So first we'll consider time shared or common buses. Time shared common bus in which it is a simplest interconnection system for multiprocessor which consists of common communication path connecting all the functional units, and these functional units are in the form of IO processor, memory modules and processors. This organization is the least complex and easiest to configure. It is totally passive unit and transfer operations are completed by the bus interface. There are three types under time shared common bus. First, single bus organization. Second is unidirectional bus organization. Third is multi-bus organization. First, we'll consider single bus organization. As the name indicates, single bus made to consist of a common communication path connecting all of the functional units such as IO processor, memory module, and different processors. It is considered to be reliable and inexpensive. However, it does introduce a single critical component in the system that can cause complete system failure. It results in central point of failure. If we consider system expansion by adding more processors or memory, which increases the bus contention and thereby degrading the system throughput and increases the arbitration logic. So these are about the drawbacks. First drawback, central point of failure. Second, in terms of system expansion, which results in increased bus contention. Transfer rate is limited by the bandwidth and speed of the single path. This is about the single path organization. An extension to single path organization is two unidirectional paths, which is nothing but unidirectional bus organization. As the name indicates, two separate unidirectional buses are used. A single data transfer in which both the buses are involved in the communication, interconnection. So this is the figure which shows the unidirectional bus organization. However, the interconnection subsystem becomes an active device here. Next is multi-bus organization. In case of multi-bus organization, multiple bidirectional buses are provided to allow the simultaneous data transfers. It increases the complexity of the system. It consists of multi-bidirectional buses involved in the interconnection of the different functional units. If we consider several factors that affect the characteristics and performance of the bus, these include number of active devices on the bus arbitration algorithm, centralization of control, data width, synchronization of the data transmission, and error detection. So, we'll consider the bus arbitration algorithms. These bus arbitration algorithms control access to the bus by the computing devices. These algorithms are usually implemented in the hardware and allow the arbitration of a bus cycle to be overlapped with the previous transfer. There are six algorithms which are considered under bus arbitration. First is static priority algorithm. Second is fixed time slice algorithm. Third is dynamic priority algorithm. Fourth is first come first served algorithm. Fifth is independent request implementation. And sixth is polling implementation. First is static priority algorithm. When multiple devices concurrently request the use of the bus, the device with the highest priority is granted access to it. This approach is usually implemented using a scheme called daisy chaining. So this daisy chaining involves all the services which are effectively assigned static priorities according to their locations along a bus grant line. Requests are made on the common bus line, which is called BRQ. The central bus control unit propagates the bus grant signal if the acknowledged signal indicates that the bus is said to be idle. This is about the static priority algorithm. When the multiple devices concurrently request the use of the bus, the device with the highest priority is granted access to it. In this scheme, all the services effectively assigned static priorities according to their locations along the bus grant control line. Requests are made on a common request line BRQ. Central Bus Control Unit propagates the bus grant signal BGT if the acknowledged signal indicates the bus to be idle. Second is fixed time slice algorithm. As the name indicates, it considers fixed time slices. Available bus bandwidth is divided into fixed length time slices. The time slices are sequentially offered to each device in the round robin fashion. All M devices are given one out of every time slices at fixed time intervals. Next is dynamic priority algorithm. So dynamic priority algorithm allows the load balance characteristics of the fixed time slicing to be achieved without incurring the penalty of high wait times. The devices are assigned unique priorities and compete to access the bus, but the priorities may be dynamically changed to give every device an opportunity to access the bus. So here the priorities are assigned, these unique priorities are given, and the priorities may be dynamically changed. Two algorithms are considered under dynamically permuting priorities. First is LRU and second is rotating daisy chain. LRU gives highest priority to the requesting device that has not used the bus for the longest interval. RDC, which is nothing but rotating daisy chain, which generalizes daisy chain implementation of the static priorities. In RDC scheme, no central controller exists. The bus grant line is connected from the last device back to the first. So this involves a closed loop. Next is first come first served algorithm. In case of FCFS scheme, the requests are simply processed in the order received. This scheme is symmetric because it favors no particular processors or device on the bus. It gives the smallest possible average wait time and standard deviation of all wait times. Next, we'll consider polling implementation. So in case of polling implementation, the bus controller that uses polling, the bus grant signal that is replaced by polling lines. So these polling lines are log to m a number log to m lines of polling instead of bus grant line, and the set of poll lines connected to each of the devices. On a bus request, the controller sequences through the device addresses by using poll lines. When a device DI which requested access recognizes its address, it raises SACK line, which indicates the bus to be busy. Next is the concept about the polling implementation. In this, bus grant signal of static daisy chain implementation is replaced by the set of log2m polling lines. The set of poll lines is connected to each of the devices. On a bus request, the controller sequences through the device addresses using poll lines. When the device DI requested access recognizes its address, it raises the SACK line. Priority is determined by the position of the device in the polling sequence. Next is independent request implementation. So in this, a separate bus grant signal and separate bus request signal are connected to each of the device I sharing the bus. So this requesting technique can permit the implementation of LRU, FCFS and a variety of other allocation algorithms. So all these are about bus arbitration algorithm. So bus arbitration is nothing but the algorithms which control access to the bus by the competing devices. Static priority, in which highest priority is granted access to the device So this makes use of a scheme called daisy chaining, in which all services are effectively assigned static priorities according to their locations along a bus grant control line. Requests are made on the common request line BRQ, and it propagates the bus grant signal if the acknowledged signal SACK indicates that the bus is idle. Next is fixed time slice, in which the bus bandwidth is divided into different fixed time intervals. Then dynamic priority algorithm, in which the dynamic priorities are assigned to each of the devices to complete access to the bus. Two types of algorithms under dynamic priority algorithm. First is LRU. LRU gives the highest priority to the requesting device that has not used the bus for the longest interval. Then second is rotating daisy chain implementation, in which no central controller exists. The bus grant line is connected from the last device back to the first in a closed loop. And next is first come first served algorithm. Requests are simply honored in the order received. Polling implementation, in which the bus grant signal of the static daisy chain implementation replaced by set of log2m polling lines, set of poll lines connected to each of the devices. On a bus request, the controller sequences through the device addresses by using poll lines. Then in case of independent requesting technique, separate bus request, bus grant line are connected to each of the device sharing the bus. And this requesting technique can permit the use of LRU, FCFS and a variety of other allocation algorithms. So all these are about the interconnection network and the type of interconnection network, which is called time shared or common bus arbitration algorithms have been discussed.